Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something you probably use all the time, but maybe don't think much about, the garden hose adapter. You actually sent us some notes about a really frustrating moment you had, right? This past summer, hot, sunny, watering every day. And your quick connect adapter, the snap-on kind, it just burst. High water pressure.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be more than just annoying, isn't it? It's such a perfect example of how, even really mundane things have some fascinating engineering behind them. Understanding why it broke and then looking at how the replacement is designed. Well, it tells you a lot about materials, about design longevity. So our mission today really is to figure out that bursting mystery and unpack the design of these little adapters.
Absolutely. It's kind of funny how a tiny bit of plastic can just stop everything. Your whole watering routine just grinds to a halt.
Yeah.
So, okay, that first adapter gave out. What's actually happening, like physically, when something like that bursts?
Well, that bursting wasn't just random wear and tear. It really points to material fatigue. Think about it. You've got constant changes in pressure, maybe hot water making it expand and contract, UV light from the sun degrading the plastic. Each one of those stresses causes tiny microscopic bits of damage. And over time, especially in like thinner spots or high stress areas, that damage just adds up until, well, it fails catastrophically. It's
Yeah.
a gradual weakening process.
Right, it builds up. So the old one was toast, but then you went looking for a replacement. That's where this gets interesting, isn't it? You found this 7.5 to 9 millimeter garden hose quick connect, and it sort of changed how you looked at these things. What was the first thing you noticed about its design?
Yeah, it's fascinating how much thought goes into these little bits. You noticed that green outer ring right away, didn't you? That's not just color. It's pretty typical for quick connects. It's designed to rotate, which makes it super easy to click hoses on or off with just a twist. Much better than, fiddling with threads every single time.
Yeah, that convenience factor is huge. Okay, and then it had the more standard black threaded bit. That's the part that screws onto the tap, the spigot, or maybe another hose accessory. But beyond the quick connect and the threads, there's that third part that really seals the deal. Literally. Tell us about the smaller black end, the barbed fitting.
Ah, the barbed fitting, yes.
Yeah.
This is where the engineering gets pretty clever for making sure it doesn't leak. You see those ridges. They aren't just for show or grip. They create these tiny pressure-activated seals. When you push a flexible hose onto it, especially one of these smaller 7.59 millimeter ones, the barbs actually squeeze the hose material into those grooves between the ridges. Then when the water pressure comes on, it pushes the hose material even harder into those grooves.
Oh, way.
Yeah, so the pressure actually helps tighten the seal instead of pushing the hose off. It's a really smart mechanical interlock, using probably the pressure as part of the solution.
That is genius. So the pressure works for you, not against you. Okay, so compared to the bigger garden hoses, you specifically mention liking the 7.5 to 9 millimeter size. That's the internal diameter, right? Common for lighter jobs. Why that size?
Right. Well, linking back to your notes, there are a few key advantages. First, it's just lighter, which is great if you're dragging it around every day. But more importantly, it's about handling the pressure better. See, smaller diameter hoses and fittings, they inherently spread that internal water pressure more evenly across the wall material. So they're actually less likely to burst under the same PSI pounds per square inch compared to bigger hoses, even if the flow rate's a bit lower. And that efficient barb fitting we just talked about, that adds a lot to its reliability too.
Okay, that makes sense. It's not just size, it's how the size affects its strength under pressure. But you did mention one little doubt, ironically, about the long-term durability of that threaded section, which, like your old adapter, might eventually wear out.
Yeah, that threaded part really highlights a classic engineering trade-off, doesn't it? Durability versus cost and ease of making it. Sure, a brass or stainless steel thread would last way longer, no question, but it would also make the adapter heavier and definitely more expensive. Plastic threads are cheap to make, they're light, but yeah, they are more likely to strip or get brittle from stress, especially if you over-tighten them, or just from that constant sun exposure, the heat. It's that tricky balance designers always face, finding the sweet spot between making it work well, making it last, and making it affordable.
So, okay, we've kind of gone full circle here from the sheer annoyance of a bursting adapter to really getting, the clever design on the replacement, that 7.5 to 9 millimeter quick connect. We saw the green ring for easy connection, the black threads for the spigot, and that really smart barbed fitting using pressure for a tight seal. It's lighter, handles pressure better for its size, even if, yeah, the plastic threads are that classic compromise for long-term wear.
Exactly. And it leaves you to something interesting to think about, doesn't it? How much do we actually rely on this kind of hidden engineering in just everyday stuff. What other simple tools are around your house doing complex jobs thanks to clever designs you maybe haven't even noticed?
That's a great question. Definitely worth keeping an eye out for those unsung heroes in our daily lives. Until next time, keep digging deeper.